Hey there, language learners. Welcome back to Speak Smart, your go to channel for mastering English idioms and expressions. In today's lesson, we are diving into some common idioms and expressions related to actions and emotions. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest lessons. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Our first idiom is be red in the face. This expression means to be embarrassed. Now, I want you to picture yourself in a situation where you feel intense embarrassment. Intense embarrassment which causes your face to turn red. Here is an example to illustrate. Imagine you accidentally called your teacher mom in front of the whole class. How would you feel? You'd probably be red in the face, right? Another example is after forgetting her lines during the play, Jane was red in the face. Again, to be red in the face means to be embarrassed. Now, it's time to practice this on your own. I want you to share a time when you were red in the face due to embarrassment in the comments below. Let's laugh together and create a supportive community. All right, moving on to our next expression. Take a ferry. This phrase means to travel by ferry, which is a boat or ship used to carry passengers and sometimes vehicles across a body of water. It is a common mode of transportation for reaching islands or crossing rivers. Now, I want you to imagine you are planning a vacation to an island. The best way to get there might be to take a ferry. For instance, we can say, we are visiting Martha's Vineyard next weekend. We'll take a ferry from the mainland. Another example, suppose you are exploring a city with a large river. Now, to get from one side of the city to the other, you might say, to visit the historical district, we'll need to take a ferry across the river. Take the ferry. Now, you can also use other forms of transportation. You can say, take a ferry, take a bus, take a train, or take a plane. Whatever transportation you want to use to go to a certain place, you can use take plus the mode of transportation. That is our second idiom. Take a ferry, take a bus, take a train, or take a plane. Now let's put this expression into test. In the comments, I want you to share your dream destination and I want you to tell me how you would like to travel there. Is it by ferry, by bus, train, or plane? Let's explore our wanderlust together. Now let's uncover the meaning of sit down. This one is pretty much straightforward. It means to sit or be seated. It can be used in various contexts where someone is asked to take a seat. Now, here are two scenarios to illustrate its usage. The first one, imagine you walk into a job interview. The interviewer might greet you and say, please sit down. Let's get started. Another one, suppose you are attending a family gathering and your aunt sees you standing. She might say, "Come on in and sit down. We are just about to have dinner. Sit down." Last example, we can also say, in a classroom, when the teacher walks in and tells the students, "Everyone, please sit down. Class is about to begin." Very easy expression, but I want you to practice using this expression. I want you to share a welcoming phrase you would use when inviting guests to sit down in the comments below. Let's spread warmth and hospitality. Our next idiom is pick something up. This phrase means to take a lift or something off the floor or another surface. It can be used in various contexts where someone is asked to retrieve an item. Here are two scenarios to illustrate its usage. Imagine you are at a friend's house and accidentally drop your keys. Your friend might say, "You drop your keys. Can you pick them up?" Another one, suppose you are in a grocery store and see an item you need on the lower shelf. You might bend down and say to yourself, "I need to pick up that can of soup." Lastly, picture a parent asking their child to clean their room. This is very common, and I know that most of your parents have asked you this. They would say, "Please pick up your toys and put them in the toy box." Pick something up. Now let's get moving. I want you to find something near you, a pen, a book, or even your phone. Pick it up and hold it in your hand. Are you holding it? Okay, great job. Now, I want you to share it in the comments what you picked up and where it was. Let's see who found the most interesting item. Okay, now let's delve into walk off. Walk off means to walk away or leave a place, often in a casual or abrupt manner. It can be used in various contexts where someone decides to depart. Here is an example to clarify. Imagine you're having a heated argument with a friend, and in the middle of the conversation, they decide to walk off without saying a word. You might later say, "He just walked off in the middle of our argument." Another example, suppose you're at a park and after finishing their ice cream, a child sees a playground and decides to walk off towards the swings without telling their parents. The parent might say, "She just walked off towards the playground without telling us." Walk off. Now, your turn. In the comments, I want you to share a scenario where you'd want to walk off without saying anything. Let's explore different perspectives together. All right? Okay. Now, moving forward, we have go back to a place, which to return to a place you have been before. It is often used when someone leaves a place and then returns to it later. Let's illustrate this expression with some examples. I want you to imagine you left your office to grab lunch, but you forgot your wallet on your desk. You might say, "I need to go back to the office to get my wallet." Right? Okay. Now I want you to imagine again you are on a road trip and you realize you left something important at a previous stop. You might say, we need to go back to the last gas station to pick up my phone. Pick something up. You can also say, pick up something. In my example, pick up my phone, we use two expressions in here: go back to the place and pick up something, which we learned earlier, right? Okay, now let's put this into action, students. I want you to think of a place you visited recently. It could be a park, a cafe, or even a friend's house. And I want you to share in the comments one reason why you'd want to go back to that place. Can't wait to hear your stories. If you're going to ask me, I want to go back to Korea because this country is really a great place. I want to go back to Korea. Go back to a place, return to a place. Are we clear? I think we are following. Now, lastly, let's take something and talk about take something out of a place, which means to remove something from a location. It can be used in various contexts where an item is being taken out of a container, a room, or place. Let's clarify this with examples. Imagine you're tidying up your room and you need to remove a book from the shelf. You'd take it out like this. Or, for example, you would ask someone to take the trash out of your room. You will say, can you take the trash out, please? Suppose you're in a meeting and want to refer to some notes you brought. You might tell your colleague, let me take my notes out of my bag so I can show you. Now, I want you to think of something you'd like to remove from your room and share why you want to remove that item in the comments below. Let's declutter our minds together. Fantastic job! You've just expanded your English vocabulary with these idioms and expressions. Now, I want you to keep practicing and remember every word you learn brings you one step closer to fluency. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more language tips. Also, you might follow my social media accounts on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Until next time, keep learning and speaking smart.